When I talk about learning English, people often expect me to start with methods, grammar, or study hacks. But honestly, that's not where it begins. It starts with something much simpler: your relationship with yourself. Because learning a language isn't just about memorizing words. It's about learning how to think, feel, and connect again, but in another voice. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I was working with a student who said, "I always give up after a few weeks. I just don't feel motivated." So I asked her, "What does learning English look like for you right now?" She said, "It looks like pressure." And that's when I realized, most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they carry too much expectation. They treat learning like a race, instead of a rhythm. When I started my podcast, I wanted to change that. I wanted people to see learning as a series of small, living moments, moments that breathe with you. 2 minutes of English in the morning while brushing your teeth. 5 minutes of journaling before bed. A quick reflection. What did I learn today? What can I do better tomorrow? It's not about doing more. It's about being present in what you do. You see, habits are like roots. They don't grow overnight, but they anchor you. And when you start with something small, even just a single sentence in English every day, it's like planting a seed. You don't see much at first, but beneath the surface, something is already changing. So today, I want to talk about that change, the quiet kind that starts small, but transforms everything. You know what I've noticed after years of making podcasts? Most people don't actually struggle with learning English. They struggle with starting. We think we need to be ready, to have time, motivation, the perfect plan. But progress rarely begins with perfection. It begins with a tiny act of courage. A listener once wrote to me. Her name was Lily. She said she used to be terrified of speaking English, so much that hearing others speak fluently made her feel small. One morning, she tried something new. Every day, she'd look in the mirror and say one English sentence. Nothing fancy, sometimes just, good morning, I look tired. But I'll try my best today. A month later, she messaged me again. It's strange. I'm not only speaking English more confidently, I'm speaking to myself more kindly. And that's the real magic. Because learning a language isn't just about mastering sounds or grammar. It's about building a new way to talk to yourself one that's patient, forgiving, and curious. Science calls it neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself through repetition. When you speak a little English every day, your brain starts recognizing it as part of daily life, not a task to complete. You're literally building what I call your English muscle. And just like real muscles, it grows stronger not through intensity, but through consistency. So tomorrow morning, instead of reaching for your phone, look out the window and say, it's a new day. I'll try to make it a good one. That's how transformation begins, quietly, gently, but with intention. Because learning doesn't need hours. It needs moments. Moments while waiting for your coffee. Moments on the bus. Moments between everything else. A podcast of mine once said, tiny moments shape big lives. And that's what I want you to remember today. You don't need to study harder. You just need to stay a little longer with what matters. Starting is easy. Continuing, that's the real challenge. Because starting comes from excitement. But continuing comes from faith that what you're doing matters. Even when you can't yet see the results. I once said in my podcast, real progress doesn't make noise. It happens in the quiet mornings, when you still practice even though you're tired. Those are the days that build you. Another listener once told me, I'm not afraid of speaking English anymore. And when I mispronounce something, I just laugh. It feels like I'm finally living in the language. That's growth mindset in real life. When you stop seeing mistakes as failures and start seeing them as evidence of learning, everything shifts. You become kinder to yourself, and somehow, that makes you learn faster. Learning English, or anything really, isn't about chasing perfection. It's about making peace with imperfection. Because every pause, every stumble, every you say, that's not failure. That's you, becoming. I want you to imagine this. It's raining outside, you're sitting in your favorite cafe, listening to a podcast in English. The host is telling a simple story about overcoming fear. And for a moment, you smile, because you realize, that's you too. You're not learning to impress anyone anymore. You're learning to understand yourself a little better. Language isn't just a tool to express. It's a bridge between who you were and who you're becoming. So even if all you do today is whisper one English sentence under your breath, that's enough. Because consistency, not perfection, is what turns effort into transformation. Like water shaping stone, quietly, patiently, beautifully. Someone once said, you can't grow beyond your environment. And that's true for language too. If you want English to become part of your life, you can't just learn it, you have to live with it. Look around your room. If everything around you speaks your native language, your brain stays there too. But if you start labeling things, mirror, door, dream big, your space starts speaking English with you. That's what I call an English environment. It's not about fancy classrooms or expensive courses. It's about creating a small corner of your world where English feels alive. In your music, your phone settings, your YouTube feed, your little sticky notes on the wall. One listener once said, I don't know when I got better. I just noticed one day. I stopped translating in my head. And that's it. That's the moment you stop studying English and start living it. No pressure, no fear, just you, connecting with a language that's slowly becoming a part of you. Now imagine this. A year from now, you're sitting in a cafe, listening to an English podcast, and you understand everything. Not because you studied more, but because you stayed consistent. Not because you became perfect, but because you kept showing up. Learning isn't a race, it's a rhythm. And the reward isn't waiting at the finish line, it's in the process itself. Every time you speak, every time you don't give up, that's a victory. So if today all you can say is, I'll try again tomorrow. Then tomorrow, do it. Just keep going. Because one day, you'll look back and realize, you've come farther than you ever thought possible. And when that day comes, you won't just speak English better. You'll speak to yourself with more patience, kindness, and grace.